Hello students, today's sports topic is on sports medicine. Introduction. Throughout human history, man's ability to survive has depended upon his physical capacity. The speed, skills, and strength earlier men needed for survival were transformed into games of skills during time of peace and as civilization progressed. A context become more organized, more highly trained and skilled athlete compete in teams. Maintaining fitness and recovering from injuries become more important as the sophistication and popularity of athletic event grew. The need of physician, trainees and therapists knowledgeable in care of and rehabilitation of athletes grew simultaneously. Students, I am very much proud to inform you in the Atharvaved, a medicine manuscript from India was recorded the use of therapeutic exercise as early as 800 to 100 BC. The following are the centuries where means these are the second century, fourth century, fifth century. These are the following centuries where evolution is taken in physical education. Physicians like Herodias, Galen, Orbitius, Aurelianus, Nicholas Andrine, J.B. Bilus, Samuel Osbin, and Walter Means published many books and outstanding contributions all over the world has been and are still being made that continues to expand the knowledge of sports medicine. Meaning of sports medicine. Sports medicine is a study which is used as a process to prevent, cure, and rehabilitation of injuries related to sports activities. Sports medicine is multidisciplinary medical corners related to sports activities like biomechanical, psychological, nutritional, environmental, pathological, and physiological. Definition of sports medicine. The first modern definition of sports medicine was provided by the Institution of Cardiology and Sports Medicine in 1958. Sports medicine is multidisciplinary activity related to both clinical and training aspects of exercise and sports participation. Prevention, rehabilitation, and curative aspects. Now, the prevention is further divided into injury prevention, and the injury event prevention is further divided into primary prevention and secondary prevention, and is further divided into terrestrial prevention. Now we'll see the detailed step by step what is meant by primary prevention. First we'll go through the main aspect, that is injury prevention. Injury prevention is a goal in any fitness related activity. By sports injury prevention, we can take all efforts to prevent injury occurred in connection with physical activity. Now we'll see what is primary prevention. The direct or indirect sports injury prevention at individual level can be called as primary prevention. The typical examination of primary prevention are medical examination, warm up before the competition, preventive muscle conditioning, that is flexibility and strength strength training, avoidance of doping. In further, you will come to know what is meant by doping. Okay. Now we'll see the secondary prevention. Sports injury prevention at group level can be called as secondary prevention. The most usual way to carry on secondary prevention is group information and education. The following are very important information to athlete and coach to prevent the injury. Proper warm up, that is warming up and cooling down, careful following the rules, fair game, disadvantages of drug, alcohol and tobacco, knowing risk of injuries. Okay, these comes under secondary prevention. Now we'll see the terrestrial prevention. All efforts undertaken at the society level to prevent sports injury can be called as terrestrial prevention. Society planning is often seen as a tool in terrestrial prevention, like political decisions, legislative decisions. Okay, these all will be coming in terrestrial preventions. Methods of prevention. In methods, first we are going to see general prevention method. General prevention of sports injury includes all the methods which concerns everyone involved in physical activities. In it, first one is basic physical fitness. Good physical fitness is an important factor in avoided sports injuries. Those who basic fitness level is below normal are more reason to injury. General conditioning and training are large muscle group are greater importance to prevent injury. Next one is warm up and cooling down. Warming up exercise are designed to prevent the body from the sports activities. They have two functions. The first one is to prevent injury. Second one is to enhance performance. Regarding injury prevention by warming up exercise, the most common and important injuries to be prevented are not only muscle strain but also tendon, ligament and other soft tissues injuries. Warming up exercise increases the general alertness, providing psychological preparation for the task to come. After training or competition, cooling down exercise are desirable. Cooling down enhances the washout of waste product of muscle metabolism, that is lactic acid, shortening the recovery time respectively. Next one is slow progression. The slow progression principle in injury prevention means allowing the musculoskeletal system to gradually adapt to increasing load. Therefore, to avoid injuries in muscle tendon, joints and bones, specially attention is required for athlete and their coach to understand the importance of slow progression. The next one is preventive training. Training of musculoskeletal system is the key to both the prevention of the injury and to successful recovery after an injury. Preventive training includes muscle training, mobility and flexibility training, coordination and sport specific training. Next one is medical examination. Routine physical examination of recreational or competition athletes has been widely used as a preventive method. The following risk factors are easily finding out by preparation examination: overweight, previous musculoskeletal diseases, mal ligaments like leg lengthening, joint hyperlaxity, and foot hyperpronation, muscle weakness and imbalance, decrease flexibility. These all comes in the medical examination category. The next one is nutrition and diet. A proper training diet is essential for the maintenance of good health and to maximize athletic performance. It may also be an important factor in the prevention of injury. Diet has been shown to be a significant factor in the development of certain disease states. Excessive intake of unrefined sugar may contribute to dental care and obesity. Excess alcohol intake may lead to obesity and alcoholic liver diseases. So there are number. The main factor if you don't maintain the diet, no, it is your sugar, which will be, if you increase your body sugar, blood sugar, then definitely there will be uninvited diseases, and because of that you will be suffering health problems, and also your BP will be high. The next one is drug, medication and doping. Basically, all athletes take part in competition should be healthy and not under medication of any kind. However, if the medication used is really needed, is not under the banned substances like the International Olympic Committee, shortly it is called as IOC, such drugs like asthma or diabetic medication can be seen in a positive light, and also as a tool of injury prevention in these individuals. Okay, when their doping means the aerogenic aid which are used to enhance the sports performance, which are not listed in the IOC list. Such medications are prohibited in sports. If they take your urine sample or your blood sample, those substances will be detected and your sports achievement will be banned. Means even you will be banned to participate in the sports or any competition of association or federation for an interval of one year or 3 years or 5 years, depending upon the severity of your intake. Hygienic. The skin secretes sweat and grease in which dust and dirt will be accumulated. If the dirt is allowed to accumulate, it becomes a breeding ground for bacteria which break down the dirt and proceeds unpleasant odor. It means you need to maintain your hygienic level whenever you are in practicing, and mainly you have to take care of your foot, which will be all the time in contact with the ground when you're performing or practicing. The last one is general preparation for sports. The general preparation includes rather well related daily life and regular food habits, enough sleep, and avoidance of drugs abused. The athletic needs not only to be physically well prepared for training and competition but mentally as well. Over raised mental tension can cause reaction such as lack of appetite, headache, and occasionally defective coordination, which can lead to an increased risk of injuries. Okay, these are the subparts in general prevention methods. Okay. Now we'll see the specific prevention parts, that is intrinsic factors and extrinsic factors. Okay. Now we'll see what is meant by specific prevention methods. And sports injury can be caused as intrinsic or extrinsic factors, either alone or in combination. The sports medicine practitioners should consider the intrinsic and extrinsic factors to prevent the sports injuries. It means you need to understand the injury caused which is because of intrinsic or extrinsic. Okay, that is called as specific prevention methods. Now we'll see what are intrinsic factors. Alignment abnormality, leg length discrepancy, muscle weakness and imbalance, decreased flexibility, joint laxity, female genders, young or old age, overweight. These all factors come in intrinsic factors. Okay. Now we'll check extrinsic factors. Excessive load on the body, training errors, environmental malconditions, poor equipments, ineffective rules. Okay, these are the factors which will become under extrinsic. Intrinsic, for simple to make you understand, intrinsic means body deformities which is within your body. Okay, and extrinsic means it is your surrounding, whether you may not have your equipments proper, like there are deformities in equipments also. Like if while doing exercise, if the equipment is not balanced properly, then definitely your one body part will be getting much pressure and the other body part will be getting low pressure. That is because of your extrinsic. Even there will be training errors also, like you may not get proper coaching, or you may not be doing the workout properly. Okay, excessive load means obesity or overweight category. Now we'll see what is meant by rehabilitation. Rehabilitation is the restoration of normal form and function after an injury. Athletic rehabilitation is the reconditioning of an injured athlete to his or her highest level of function in the shortest possible time. Now we'll check the components of the rehabilitation programs. First one is flexibility, strength, endurance, proprioception, ability and skills. Now we'll check the first component, that is flexibility. It is the first component of rehabilitation. Generally following an injury, there is some loss of range of motion and in many cases increased muscle gradation. Rehabilitation exercises to improve flexibility might include active assessment and passive joint range of motion, including joint mobility, static stretching, and facilitated stretching. Strength. It is the second component of rehabilitation. Strength exercise may be done in either isometric, isotonic, or isokinetic. Circuit training, polymetric exercises, and weight training are best exercises for strength rehabilitation. Endurance, the third component. Increasing individuals' muscular endurance can be accomplished by adjusting the set number of repetitions. Resistance and space of specific training activities. Increasing cardiovascular endurance can be accomplished through traditional activities such as running, cycling, steppers machines, swimming, upper extremity cycle, ergometric cross countries, skim machines, and other means. The fourth component of rehabilitation is proprioception. Devices and activities such as a single leg stance of balanced, basically balance board, that is called as uniaxial, advanced balance board, that is multi-axial, and such of the commercial availability balances machine can be used to develop the proprioception. This is a very difficult subject. I think it is very, I don't think so any one of the P teachers can be able to pronounce it within one breath. Okay. Now the last component is agility and skill drills. Here the drills includes fundamental drills for a given sports in is practiced. This is a process of progressive motor learning and motor relearning. The most important part, curation. Now we'll see what is meant by injury curation. When an athlete get injured, the coach or the athletic trainer must take proper and necessary step to cure the injury. The injury curation is further classified into two parts, that is recognition and evaluation. The next one is management and treatment. Now we'll see the first one, recognition and evaluation. What is recognition and evaluation? Athletic trainee must possess a high level of knowledge in assessment skill to accurately recognize and evaluate the nature and severity of an athletic injury. Now, depending upon the athletic injury, the assessment of recognition and evaluation is further classified into two major parts. That is, first one is primary survey and second one is secondary survey. Now we'll see the first one, what is meant by primary survey. The primary survey is the portion of the assessment concerned with evaluation of the basic life support mechanism. That mechanism is airway, breathing, and circulation. These are usually referred as the ABCs of life support. This is meant by primary survey. What is secondary survey? The secondary survey is the portion of assessment that examines the athlete in an attempt to recognize and evaluate all injuries. The secondary survey can be divided into three major areas: history, observation, physical examination. Now these history, observation, and physical examination, you need not be required because it's a very thorough study about it. I will just brief you about it. The physical examination is further divided, means it is further divided into four categories, that is palpation, movement procedure, neurological evaluation, and last one is circulatory evaluation. Now we'll see about the management and treatment. Athletic trainee must be skilled in various management and treatment procedure. Administering immediate first aid, providing therapy to promote healing and recovery, applying proper technique to support and protect an injured area, referring an injured athlete for further medical assessment which is necessary. examine of the signs and symptoms, application of treatment routine, assessment of the effects of these technique on the signs and symptoms of the injury. This cycle continues throughout the treatment procedure, that is assessment, treatment and reassessment. Okay, now students, here are the basic knowledge of why sports medicine is required separately for sports and physical education, because doctor will not come to ground whenever a student or a children's when they are getting injured. Okay, so many doctors will not be free to come on the ground. For that sake, a PE teacher, a trainee or a coach must know basic concept of sports medicine. He has to evaluate and recognize the injury and the severity of it. For that sake, this subject is included in the physical education. Okay, now we'll see about the importance of sports medicine. Sports medicine involves to prepare a conditioning programs to pre-season, in-season and off-season of the athlete. Students, here athletes means it is not only athletic. Athletes, this term is used for all the players which are in different sports discipline. Okay. So athletes means anyone who is playing sports. Sports medicine is used to develop the knowledge on the application of protective taping, padding, bandaging and other devices. Sports medicine helps the trainee to know the assessment steps and procedures to recognize and evaluate the nature and severity of an athletic injury. Sports medicine involves in vital role to cure the sports injury. By recognizing and evaluating the injury, the athletic trainee can understand the present condition of injury and athlete. Sports medicine gives proper guideline to give the first aid and treatment procedure. In sports medicine, therapeutic modality are used to promote the healing and recovery on sports injury. The last point is, without rehabilitation, following the recondition process of an injury, it is extremely difficult for the athlete to return to previous levels of performance in a reasonable period of time. For that sake, sports medicine is very much important in sports. Thank you. Stay fit and healthy.